too much for police to handle.
Investigative reporter Mark Pettit has spent the last month uncovering problems at Georgia truck stops. In tonight's News Extra, he tells us drugs and prostitution are not just in the big cities.
If it's there, I can find it.
Move over, Atlanta police. Meet the real Red Dog. For close to 10 years, Red Swanson has carried a badge. Tonight, he'll carry it into one of the most notorious truck stops in North Georgia, the Union 76 in Adairsville.
I'd say in the last year we probably received a couple hundred complaints.
Understaffed in a growing town, Police Chief Delbert welcomes the help of undercover officers, and our hidden camera is with them. That's me with Red Dog.
You got to look like one of them. You got to play the part.
Unlike Atlanta, the deals aren't made blatantly in the open, but if you want it, you can find it. It took us less than 30 minutes to find drugs. We found them in the truck wash behind the restaurant. Listen closely as the deal goes down.
We'll go for a half a gram. You say 50?
Yeah. Yeah, nobody where you got it. Nothing about it.
For $50, we bought a half gram of methamphetamines, better known as speed or crank. So what happens now?
What happens now? Well, we're going to go back and make another buy, and then we're going to bust him. We're going to put him where he needs to be before he destroys somebody else's life.
The next night, armed with an arrest warrant and more drug money, police are back. It had been a busy night for the suspect, not only washing trucks, but apparently selling drugs. He was sold out by the time we got there. But he told the undercover officer there was more where it came from his supplier, but it would be 6 in the morning. So we waited. Just after 7, the second buy went down, and so did the bust.
Johnny, you're under arrest. Violation of Georgia Control Substance. What? You sold suspected contraband to an undercover police officer.
The suspected dealer and a suspected prostitute were arrested, and inside the truck wash, police found more drugs. The drugs and prostitution, do you condone that?
Of course not, I don't condone it. There's no way that I'll ever condone that.
Bill Burnett is one of the owners of the truck stop. While the buys were made on his property, he's quick to point out the truck wash is a separate business. But we did find other possible problems at the Union 76. Both nights we were undercover, we found porno movies being shown in a back room and video poker machines that have a reputation of paying off in cash. When our camera was allowed inside, the movies weren't on, and neither were those poker machines. All of them carried signs that read, "Out of order." Burnett says he'll be keeping a closer watch on his business.
You have brought it to our awareness. We're going to try to do the best we can. And we will. If we know anything going on, we will get us found.
If he doesn't, Red Dog will.
Well, I'm batting 1,000.
He is one of the best I've ever worked with. Now, there are some good things at the truck stop up there in Adairsville. For instance, a free Watts line so truckers can call their families. Police say they hope they've sent a message that the other things better be cleaned up.
A couple of questions. What has happened to these drug dealers, and what kind of response are you getting to
Well,
this?
first of all, Kelly, the 2 suspects you saw arrested in that story are still in jail being held for possessing the drugs and for soliciting prostitution. We're getting a lot of reaction, especially from truck companies. Managers have called us today. They spotted their workers and their truck drivers in our series that started last night, and they're upset, not at us, but at those drivers, and they said they're going to clean it up, and they're coming to view tapes tomorrow, so we'll let you know what happens.
All right. Thank you very much.
Soviet Voice